in Chattanooga, Tennessee, David Tulis.
Hey, this is not David Tulis. You are listening to the Cindy's Choice Show, and they've switched me over to Fridays, but I don't think the programmer got the email. So we are here live, the Cindy's Choice Show on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. You can also find us on 95.3 FM HD4. We're on TuneIn Radio, Shoutcast. We are on YouTube, and we're on Facebook as well. So be sure and tune in on Nooga Radio, the Cindy's Choice Show. And I am Cindy. And Cindy's Choice is to make a positive impact in our community. I do that through cultivating community collaboration. And that's done by gathering businesses that complement each other and have the same target market. And Cindy's Choice for an awesome business advisor is Nova Advisors. Nova Advisors is a contingency-based business service. They can bring a variety of strategies to reclaim or save on fees for all kinds of things. They do auditing. They do a workers' opportunity tax credit that people need to know about that can save you thousands of dollars. And you can check them out at novaadvisors.us. That's novaadvisors.us. And now I do want to introduce my awesome guest that I have joining me today to talk about networking and the value of networking relationships. And I have Lex Ryan with me with the Mosquito Authority. Hey, Lex.
Hey, Cindy. How are you today?
I'm doing really good. So glad to have you with us. And Sean Summey has joined us as well with Summey and Associates.
Hey, Cindy.
Hey, you guys. It's so nice of you to join me. And I want to talk about another one of our sponsors before we jump in. Do you guys know Chicken Salad Chick?
We do.
Absolutely.
I've used them many times.
Yes. And I'm so proud of Josh Patton. He has 2 locations here in town. We've got the downtown location, and then there's the East Brainerd location. And Monday is the ribbon cutting, and I'm sure I'll see you guys there for the Erlanger Mall location for Chicken Salad Chick. And it's if you haven't tried it, there's 12 different varieties of chicken salad. There's egg salad. I love the grape salad. There's BLTs, there's spicy pimento cheese. There's just something for everyone. So please check out Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com, Chicken Salad Chick, Chattanooga.com. Stop by Erlanger today. They are giving out free samples all through the lunch hour. Stop by Erlanger Mall on 3rd Street and check out the new Chicken Salad location there. Now, guys, let's jump in. I want to talk about networking. And I want to start out with, I'm Chattanooga by choice. I'm not from here, but I've lived here a total of 17 years. But I spent the last, before I came back this last time 2 years ago, I'd spent like 9 years back in Texas. So I come back to Chattanooga. I don't know anybody. And I want to start a business, which kind of sounds crazy now that I say that out loud. But I knew exactly what to do. I'm a professional marketing person. I know what the most important thing is in business is your relationships. So I get out in the community and I start connecting and start finding places that are going to be the best fit for me. One of the first people I met when I got out there and started going to Chamber of Commerce events, Women Mean Business events, Chattanooga Women's Leadership Institute, associations, organizations, BNIs, I was checking out everything. But one of the first events I went to, I met Lex Ryan. And now here it is, a year and a half later, I'm inviting him on the show because one of the reasons I probably met you first is because of how extensively that you network. And then Sean's a newer relationship, but you're out there too, Sean. Mm-hmm. You understand the value of connecting. So, Lex, let's start with you. Tell me how long have you been in the networking circles here in Chattanooga?
I've been doing pretty much really working the networking for probably a little over 2 years.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of like, when you're in a service industry, You have to make contacts, build relationships. This is a community that is built strictly, you build your business with relationships. And Chattanooga is a big networking community that
yes,
so much of your business will come from the networking more than just out cold calling.
Right. No, it's a relationship town.
Right.
And I come here from major metro areas. I was introduced to B2B, business to business marketing in Dallas, Texas. And then, like I said, I spent the last 7 years before I came back to Chattanooga in networking circles in Houston, Texas. And each was very different. You know, they're both big Texas cities, but the networking market was very different. And in the same way, Chattanooga has its own unique market. And I guess you would call Chattanooga a mid-sized city now, but it's still very much a small town in comparison to these metro areas. And it really is more relationship oriented than any B2B networking community that I've ever been into. But that's, even when you go to college, it doesn't matter what kind of degree you have, they tell you it's about your relationships. It's ultimately who you know, and not like who you know by what status they have, but who you know that can connect you to the people you need to know to create more relationships and fuel your business.
Well, one of the biggest issues is it's trust. Is that by people getting to know you and seeing you in the community, by they provide you with opportunities.
Exactly.
And then once they can trust that you're always going to provide them with good connections with other people you network with, that's kind of how the networking works is, you're not working with somebody, trying to develop business with them. You're trying to develop business with who they know and the developing a business that you can help them.
Right.
Because everybody has a phone that's got, 300 to 1,000 people in it. So we all have a network. It's just
but you know what? No, and we don't all. And that's a lot of the purpose of this platform. Why I wanted you guys to come on is the people that's the norm for us, because we're out there in the networking circles. But there's a lot of people that aren't plugged in. And it's not necessarily because they don't know and they don't want to. A lot of business owners and business people are too busy to do that. But that's what I wanted this platform today to feature, is the value of that. So why don't you chime in there, Sean? How long have you been, are you from here?
Yeah, I've been here pretty much my whole life. I was really fortunate to be really mentored by a veteran banker, and I was taught how to network.
Goodness. Yes.
So I think that's pretty rare. But I did have somebody that took me under their wing and said, let me take you and introduce you. So we hit the ground running, and about 2 years.
I love that. And I didn't know that from before. And
yeah.
I love that added element because, here we have two different stories. I just had to get out there and get it figured out. And when I first entered the B2B world in Dallas, Texas, which was kind of overwhelming, that's what I did. I got out there and figured out this networking thing. And I'll be honest, when I got out there at first, I was desperate. I was a single mom. I needed commissions, and I got out there. And what have you got for me?
Absolutely.
And it wasn't out of a selfish heart. It was out of a desperate need. But, I've learned that just doesn't help you at all. And I have a natural inclination to give. And when you apply that to networking, it's just like what Lex just said. When you get out there and you're focused on, well, how can I help you? And then they're opposed, well, you can help me with this. And now how can I help you? Well, then together you're connecting with the people that you need for your business. But I love that somebody actually guided you. And what better person than someone from the banking industry?
Absolutely.
I have Stephanie Crow on here quite a bit, and that's her background. And banking people are just such well-rounded professionals as far as the networking, and they deal with so many small businesses. So that gives them a lot more inclination on.
Well, and one thing you got to, networking isn't sales working. You're not out selling anything while you're networking.
Agreed.
It's strictly just really it's a bonding and rapport. It's you're building a relationship.
Well said. Yeah.
So you're not out there, kind of as Sean's friend will say all the time. You're not out there being a Vegas dealer, throwing cards out to everybody.
Yeah.
You're out telling people what you do, but the first thing you should always do is ask what somebody else is doing and how you can help them.
Right. And we all know those people. that show up with their cards in their hand. And I never give out my card unless someone asks for that for it. Now I may ask for your card. I'm a card collector, but I hate that when somebody just shows up and just starts handing out their card, because I'm like, no, that's not what we're here for. I mean, why would I call you? It's like, I'm going to call the person that I have a relationship with, that I know something about, not the person that just put their card in my hand. And there's a skill to networking, but at the same time, it's got to be authentic. Do you find that? I mean, Sean, I think about the real relationships that I've cultivated because I needed to get out there and make business relationships. But my friend base has come out of these work relationships.
No, I totally agree, Cindy. I think you hit the nail on the head when you talked about relationships being the most important part. I mean, a good networking day for me is if I hand out one card and have a 30-minute conversation with one individual.
Yes.
Because that it's more important to me to know them personally. That way our interaction is not disingenuous and we are looking to help one another. And it's become auto reflex. And I know that Lex would probably agree with this anyway. I won't speak for him, but that when I meet someone, the first question I ask myself is, who can I introduce you to help you? It's the most important part. True. I truly care about them. I want to help them. And that's it. I don't think that networking is overly difficult.
Right. And that's me. And I don't know if it's from being a female, but we're kind of natural helpers. And I don't, I don't like making blanket statements, but for the most part, most of the women that I know are helpers. So that comes easy for me. It's like, how do I help you? It was learning how to remember that I needed to get paid and find that balance. But I'm just being real. That's a lot of people. If I get out there, because I admit when I first got out there, when you need money and that's what you're focused on, you, even if you're a giver, you're just looking for that next deal, but you have to train yourself and understand that, nope, that's not how it works. People are going to want to do business with me when I demonstrate that I'm someone that is interested in what they're doing and more interested in, because what you're doing there is demonstrating how you're going to be with that prospect. Why would they introduce you to someone if you're just ready to stick a card in their hand and get their business? Because that's, we're talking about networking relationships, but when you're with the client, that's a whole nother relationship that you have to cultivate. And if you demonstrate yourself as not valuing that relationship, people aren't going to want to refer you and introduce you to their clients.
Well, and another situation that I always like to try to tell people is that, I'm not out there. It's like people always ask me in the pest control from, mosquito authority will always say, well, what separates me from anybody else? All companies all use the same. I said, the only thing that separates them is me.
Right.
Because I'm actually going to be because I've put in the extra care to take care of my customers, just like I do in my networking. I'm putting the extra effort to take care of, our friends.
Exactly.
That's what we're building. We're building friendships. We're taking care of our friends.
Exactly.
So, I do it in my business and I also do it in the networking that, I'll do anything I have to help everybody succeed and be successful.
And perfectly. And I just want to let the listener know, if you see a hot pink pickup truck running around town, be sure and wave, and I even wore my hot pink shoes today, Lex, to match your truck again. And that's Lex with Mosquito Authority. Is that the only pink truck in town right now?
Well, we've got a couple of them that are running around, and yes, and I forgot to wear my. You should.
That's all right. I'm going to have you guys back. So you wear pink next time. I'll wear my pink shoes again.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge Penny. Penny Huey. We miss you too, Penny.
Yeah, Penny Huey. We'll have to coordinate when Penny's in town to have Penny on the show.
From Hilton Head today.
Well, we should have coordinated and got her here sooner. But you guys have been great, and I would love to have you guys back on and kind of stick with a theme on this issue, because I invited two people that, like I said, I've got over a 1.5 relationship with Lex. Sean is a newer relationship, but I know you because of the circles and the networking, and you're plugged into different groups and I'm plugged into, but now we're plugged. So just look how many more people I'm plugged into because of knowing you.
Sure.
Because you can't get to everything. We're not all Lex Ryan. We can't. Lex is everywhere.
It's true.
And like I said, and you'll see them. So you'll start recognizing that pink truck. But Sean, why don't you share a little bit? Just got a minute here about Somebody Associates. If people want to know more about what you do and in your business, how would they go about contacting you?
They can find me on my website, summyassociates.com. It's SUMMEY and summyassociates.com. All one word. And you know, we do all things sales, really. So we try to help train people, help them grow their business through sales.
Awesome. And I'd love to have you back to talk about that. Really quick, Lex, what's the contact information if someone needed to get their yard sprayed for mosquitoes?
They can reach me at 423-708-2285.
Awesome. And I just thank you guys so much. I'm going to invite Amy up here really quick, and we're going to talk about the museum hop that's happening next week. And if you've just tuned in, you are listening to Cindy's Choice Show on AM 1240 and 92.7 FM. You can also find us on TuneIn Radio, Shoutcast. We are live streaming on YouTube and on Facebook as well. And I am Cindy, and we were just talking to Lex and Sean about networking, but I wanted to give Miss Amy Autenrieth. I say it right, Amy?
Right.
I wanted to give her a moment because she has spearheaded a new community event that's happening next week. It's the Museum Hop. Hi, Amy. How are you?
Hey, Cindy. Thanks for having me.
Oh, I'm so glad that we could fit you in. I want to start featuring community events as a regular spot on my show. And you are with the Houston Museum, correctly?
The Houston Museum of Decorative Arts, correct?
Yeah, and I am so glad to have learned about that. And I want to have you back on to talk about that, or get you on Jill's show to talk about that. But we have a few minutes, and I want to highlight the museum hop. So tell us about that.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me, and how serendipitous that it is that you have me on today, and networking and collaboration, because that's what this is. This is a collaboration with 6 museums. This is something that was the genesis of it was something people may have heard about or not. It was the Smithsonian Magazine Free Museum Day, and I was participating in that to no avail, not having a lot of feedback from that. And so I thought, why am I doing this with an out-of-town entity? Why aren't we working together here in Chattanooga? So I realized there's a void where museums cooperate here in town. And I just started contacting museums back in May. This was thrown together really quickly. And I got a lot of great feedback. I contacted just about every museum and see if they wanted to participate in this hop. And what it is, it's a one-day event where you go to 6 museums. You start around 10 a.m. and it goes all the way to 6 p.m. And it's more of a challenge.
I like that.
It's a challenge. You may or may not be able to get through all 6 museums, but we're going to try and help you get through. But there's no particular starting point. You would start at the museum of your choice, go to any museum on the list, and you receive a passport. And every time you make a stop, you have your passport stamped. And at the end, if you've exceeded the challenge or met the challenge of visiting them all, you get a T-shirt for your efforts.
Awesome. I love this, Amy. And that's why I wanted to be sure and have you on, because that's what I utilize my platform, my radio platform, and my Cindy's Choice business platform. I'm all about community collaboration. And just like the owner of the radio station, Sab, says, he goes, we don't sell Nooga radio. We sell radio. And I'm like, that's me. I've never looked at anyone as competition. I'm a matchmaker. It's like we need to be introduced to everything and find our right match. It's not about, my product is the best or this is the best. We do so much more together. And so by you creating this collaboration with the museums, you can introduce so many people because they'll have this incentive. Oh, that sounds fun. And I think you'll be able to attract people who really haven't been paying that much attention to museums, because you're making it fun. You're making it interesting. You're giving them an introduction to a larger spectrum. I just absolutely love it. I commend you for spearheading this, because I know what it's like. I do the same thing. Collaboration isn't easy. I mean, it's not. So I commend your effort in pulling this off.
Thank you. And it's only because the enthusiasm of all the other museums that we're going to be able to pull this off. And they are very enthusiastic. And I will mention the museums that are taking part in this. It's the Houston Museum of Decorative Arts and
Yes.
Tennessee Valley Railroad Museum, Bessie Smith Cultural Center, Songbirds Guitar Museum, the Charles Coolidge Medal of Honor Heritage Center, and the 6th Cavalry Museum.
Wow. Those are all awesome museums. And tell me again, remind me the date.
The date is next Friday, August 25th. It goes from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You must register for this event. You can't just show up and say, I'm ready for my tour. You would register at tvrail.com, or you can call 423-894-8028 and purchase your ticket. It is $10, but with that $10, you get to see 6 different museums here in Chattanooga.
Awesome. I just love that. And repeat the information one more time about the website, where to register.
Rail.com, or you can call them at 423-894-8028.
Wonderful. And again, Amy, thank you so much for joining us. I encourage the listener to get out and participate in the first annual museum hop next week. And Amy was so gracious to join us. We're about to lead into the break, and I'll have Jim Vesper joining me for the second half of the show with Beamer Group. And please hang with us. Come back and listen to Jim. He's a manufacturer's rep with a very strong wellness background, and we're going to talk about some wellness issues. So stay tuned.